Hello, and I want to welcome you back to the next training video. Today we're going to be talking about master follow-up fortunes, setting up an effective follow-up email sequence to build up goodwill, relationships, and ensure more profits. This is one of the things that you want to pay attention to in your business is the follow-up. Follow-up is so very important, and a lot of times it's not taught. You're not taught about the follow-up. You're just talked about getting that product done and getting it out there in list building, and you're never told about the follow-up. Many marketers, even some of the top level marketers, fail to really do a good follow-up series, and you leave a lot of money on the table. This is something that is really important for you to listen to and discover and follow and do yourself. You have got to have a good follow-up series going on, and the better and the more attention you pay to this, the better that you're going to be able to monetize your business. List building profit funnel, basically we're going to be taking them to squeeze page with opt-in form. There's kind of a review here a little bit. Then they're going to be compelling high quality offer or incentive. This is your free offer. Then they're going to be taken to a special offer or one-time offer if you choose to set that up. But then they're going to be taken to your follow-up emails and broadcasts, and this is where you're going to be doing a lot of your recommending is through your follow-up message on everything else that you have, affiliate products, coaching, everything you're going to be able to use through your follow-up and do the pre-selling for it. It's very effective, but you really need to pay attention to the back-end marketing process, and a lot of that is through your follow-up. Basically, your follow-up messages are going to build trust and relationships, and trust plus relationships equals money. Your follow-up email series needs to provide genuine help to your list. When you do this part right, it does two things. It builds much needed trust. You've got to build that trust up, and it also creates a lasting relationship with your customers. The end result is money flowing to you, and that's what we're looking for, is the end result of the follow-up, and that's the relationship where that money starts flowing to you. If you want long-term sustainability in your business, you need to understand that the relationship is key. Relationships are important to everything in our life, including our business. We have got to establish relationships with JV partners, with our customers, with leads, everything that's out there we have got to have an established relationship with. If you want to make money with your business, you need to understand that the key is in the relationship. So where do you start and how many follow-up? That's a really good question. There's really not a good answer for that. I'm going to just say basically it's as much as you need to get the job done properly. I would recommend that you start with the standard recommendation of 7. Everybody's always saying, that's their standard recommendation. You at least have to have a week's follow-up series going. So we're going to stick to that as the answer, but I'm telling you that 7 is not going to be enough. You want to have that continually going and as you work toward building your business, you really want to work on this follow-up and continue to add to it all the time. Don't overcomplicate things though. You don't need 7 messages to make a noticeable impact if you're not doing any follow-up at all. A lot of people don't use follow-up at all. They deliver the product through the first follow-up email, and that's it. And and a lot of times it's just because they plan to go back and get it done, but they're so busy that they never got past that, or they totally forgot about it. So really plan for this and actually get it set up. For those with no follow-up at all, just adding 1, 2, or 3 follow-up messages will make a world of difference to your bottom line. If that's all you get started out with, that's going to make a huge difference, over top of those that don't add any, or you not adding any at all. Create with confidence. Don't sweat over follow-up messages. Your prospects are waiting for you. They just said, I'm interested in you. Now they're waiting for you to follow up and show them what comes next. They understand the process. They've been doing it long enough for the most part. And, so create it with confidence and just understand that they opted in and now they're expecting you. They're waiting for you. Here's our follow-up focus, basic elements of your follow-up email that you really need to focus on. The first one is the initial welcome. You're basically saying thank you, welcome, and starting to let them get to know who you are and what you're all about. It's basically welcoming them and thanking them for buying that or opting in for that product. Delivering the initial product download. That's one of the things that the main focus, especially the first one, is delivering the product download. Hopefully it's going through your product download page and through the autoresponder and everything set up. But in that follow-up message that you have loaded up in the autoresponder, this is also a great place to say, here's your download page, a link to that download page. Over delivering value. A main focus of your follow-up emails should be over delivering value with every single follow-up message that goes out. Relationship building. It should be focused on building relationships with your customers, with your leads. And you're going to do this in different ways depending on if it's just a lead still. You're going to be focusing on different things than you would with your customers. Build trust and credibility. Your focus should be building your trust and credibility, showing them the knowledge that you have, showing them that you are the expert in your field and that you know what you're talking about and that you're there to help and that you can get the job done. Customer support. You might want to, if nothing else, it's just telling them where they can go for customer support. And this is very something needed, especially in that first email. Soliciting feedback. This is huge. Whenever you get somebody that's taken action and they get on your list, you always want to be finding out what they're feeling about the products and what their thinking is. If there's things you could add, things that would help them better. This is going to help you understand, make sure that you're going in the right direction, and maybe even discover some things that you might have forgot or that might be missing that you can add. So always be soliciting feedback in your emails, asking them, what's going on and how they're doing. It's a great place to be pre-selling. Your follow-up focus, should be on pre-selling your next offer or that first offer. Whatever's coming next, you can focus on pre-selling it through it. You're able to really deliver some good content in an email and get it, and then focus on selling that next one. Selling your well-positioned products and affiliate products. 3 attributes of a good follow-up series. It should be a systematic, meaning that the follow-up process is done the same way every time. You can set up many lists. Some of it's going to be a little bit of different focus, but you should set them up basically the same, all the time, so people get to know what's coming along and what's going next. But when something starts working, follow that same process for all the different lists that you have. It should generate consistent, predictable results. You should know what to expect when you set up a follow-up message, and that comes from practice and experience. But it should be consistent, and it should be consistently generating predictable results. It should require minimal physical interaction to make it run, meaning it should be able to run on autopilot. That means once you get it all set up, you're going to have to go back and tweak it. Maybe you're going to add some follow-up messages to it that you've discover you should have in there later. Maybe a new products, you're going to switch some of the products out and write a different message or whatever. That's kind of things you're going to have to stay on top of things. But basically, it should require minimal physical interaction. So you're not going to want to be sending out an email, through your email every single day. Have it set up, automated, so that it's always working for you. And the only time you should go in there and mess with it is when you want to make some changes to help conversions or maybe add different products. So methods of getting started. A lot of people are like, I don't know how to get started with my follow-up. I don't know what to add. One of the best things you can do, you're already on a lot of people's lists. You've already gotten follow-up messages from people. You watch, you learn, and you copy strategies that work. So basically those people that you're on your list, once you opt into somebody's list, pay attention to what is coming from them. Pay attention to their follow-up series in particular. See what's working for you. If it's just not doing it for you or whatever, that's probably something you're not going to want to do. But when you notice somebody that's got an excellent follow-up series that just makes you want to take action on it, and you're looking forward to seeing what's coming next, really start paying attention and learning from them and copy those kind of strategies and put them toward your business. Watch what other marketers are doing to see what works. Watch and learn the sequences and intervals to follow, especially in your niches that you're in. And the make money online, you might get one every day, sometimes twice a day, but take a look at the experts, what kind of intervals they have and the sequences of sending out the emails, because they've probably discovered what works. And you're going to know when to be able to send yours out. Should it be every day, maybe once a month, once a week, whatever. Watch to see what is included in each follow-up. When are they giving free products? When are they delivering, asking you to buy something? Watch the sequence, what's working for you, and see what's actually working, and then you copy those strategies. 3 ways to get follow-up emails. One of them is to write them yourself. It's probably the best way. You've done the research. Write these follow-up messages yourself. Another way is to outsource them. You can go to elance.com, guru.com, thewarriorforum.com, or whatever. Find places that you can get other people to write your follow-up emails. Let them know where you're going, what you're thinking, and let them write them for you. Another way is to buy PLR follow-up series emails. A tip here is, if you get PLR ebooks, reports, or articles, these are a great way to get content for e-course follow-up email series. E-courses are great to include in your follow-up. You're basically teaching them a step-by-step system throughout this course. So basically it's like, if you got a PLR ebook on teaching somebody, the 3 methods of making quick cash online or something, whatever. And you take that and you break it down where it makes sense into a step-by-step process that you can deliver through your follow-up. You're going to be recommending different resources, maybe like if it's telling them that they need a website, you can offer, easily put an affiliate link to, different things like HostGator or something like that. Or if you're recommending an autoresponder, put an affiliate link to an autoresponder, because you're teaching them something, and then you're showing them it's like to go get this resource, go here through your affiliate link, so you're monetizing in that way. But you're teaching them something, and it's just a great way is to use like e-courses through your follow-up email series, and you can get them with PLR ebooks and reports, article packages. Them are great. Find PLR, but you can also find PLR products out there that actually will have so many pre-written emails. A lot of times when you buy a private label right package, it'll come with a follow-up series, usually like 7 of them, that you can automatically load up your autoresponder. They were written for that specifically, but then you can also get autoresponder templates for your follow-ups. So start a follow-up swipe folder is something that I would really recommend that you do. Basically just put a folder on your desktop, and when you find something that's working, you collect them. When you see good follow-up messages, collect them and use them. So your follow-up folder is basically an idea generator. It's your collection of the best emails and follow-up emails that you read and you use, if for guided inspiration. You can collect things like subject lines, and that if that's all that was good about it, you like the subject line that made you open, use that. Put it in your swipe folder. Change them to fit your business. Don't just use the same one that they just sent you. Add your voice to the swipe email. Change it to fit your business. Even if you found, like you're in the make money, you might find something in the dog niche that you've seen an email come through or whatever written for it that you could change to, take it toward the make money online. It just had some good copy and some good persuasion tactics or whatever, and you used it to rewrite for your own business. Swipe that recommends a product or service. You just change the product or service or something that fits your target audience. So if you've seen somebody that sent out a follow-up email that came to your inbox recommending another product, first of all, you can notice when it came in the series. Was it email number 3 that they started recommending a product, or number 4? But also you can take that and you can kind of use that as swipe and a guide, a template to be able to recommend your own product. Follow-up series interval styles. There are basically a couple different ones. There's rapid fire, which is basically one right after another. And you're going to see a good example of this in the Make Money Online niche and stuff, where people are used to seeing aggressive email marketing. You'd possibly send a message out every day, sometimes twice a day or more. I wouldn't recommend this unless you're in a niche that tolerates aggressive marketing, like the Make Money Online niche. So basically that's like you're getting boom, 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 boom hit with them. And the reason you're doing this is because there's so much competition out there. They're getting so many emails that you have got to do your job of keeping in front of your clients and in your customers in those leads. So in the moment that you stop, they're getting an email from the competition, so you need to keep yours going. Then there's the spaced, which is sending out 1 or 2 messages a week. Then maybe you wait 1 or 2 weeks. When used correctly, people on the list begin to anticipate and wait for the message. And again, certain niches are not going to be used to aggressive. They're not going to tolerate the aggressive. They're going to be used to this, and that's what you're going to want to stick to if that's what they're used to. What these two styles have in common, though, is that they're both consistent. You consistently keep your name in front of the people, your brand in front of your list. Consistency is the key. To better organize and manage your email marketing, you should consider creating a follow-up delivery schedule that will provide your subscribers with a clear idea as what they should expect from you in your emails and broadcasts, when they should expect them. And stick to that. Consistency is going to be the key to letting your subscribers know when they're going to expect another email. And the thing of it is when you stop, they start getting out of that habit and they're looking at somebody else's. So make sure that you're consistent and let them know that, hey, these are coming and you can expect it. Being consistent with your follow-up will help you develop a relationship with your list while conditioning them to pay attention to your broadcast and ultimately look out for them on a regular basis. So you're conditioning them to pay attention. You're training your list. Doing this will increase your open rate significantly. If you are consistent with it, they're going to learn to be watching for them. They're going to be looking for them to open them. And if you're providing good value at all times, the subject line all of a sudden and the titles are not going to be quite as important, because they're going to understand that you just provide good value and they're going to be looking for your emails to come. So being consistent really helps in conditioning them, and your open rates are going to be significantly increased. All right, there's 3 types of follow-up messages that you can use. One is a follow-up message that strictly educates. There's no selling whatsoever in it. It's strictly an educational email, and that's the purpose of it, is to educate them on something that you're going to be selling them later maybe. Follow-up that sells. These are emails, the follow-ups that strictly are just selling. They're out promotion. There's, when they show up and they're reading it, they know from the start that you're doing your job trying to sell them something. And then there's going to be follow-up that combines educating and selling, where you're going to pre-sell them on the notion where you're educating them and then you are going to selling them. This would be something, on the lines of educating them on, like, we're talking about setting up a list or whatever, and there's certain things that they need, and you're educating them on that, and then you make a recommendation as, go through my affiliate link here and, and check out the HostGator or, whatever, Aweber or whatever. So you're going to be educating them and also selling. Use a mixture of all 3 in your follow-up series. You're going to want to have all 3 of these. You're going to want to have emails that are strictly educating. Of course, they're going to be leading to those emails that are going to be selling. And then you want to have a combination of those that have both. Secret sales force in action. That's basically what your follow-up message series is. Your follow-up series is a secret salesperson who works for you 24/7 on autopilot if you do it correctly. Genuinely help your subscribers by giving a piece of the solution through your follow-up. They'll learn to trust you. They'll want more of what you have to offer, and they'll become faithful in buying your offer. You have to really give them genuine help. When they see people giving them genuine help, they're going to stick with you. So really over-deliver the value, genuinely help them, and you're going to have faithful buying customers. All right, let's look at the 7 email series I guess recipe here. Your first email, number 1, you're going to send out immediately. It's going to go out immediately, and when you set it up in your autoresponder, it doesn't really give you a choice. It goes out immediately after somebody confirms their opt-in. If you have that turned off, it goes in basically as soon as they put their email, name and email in there, it'll send out. It welcomes them and ensures that they just made the right decision. You want to offer assurance to them because they're a little nervous. They really don't know you yet, so assure them, yes, you did make the right decision. Mention the product or newsletter name again so they start getting used to that branding and what they actually just opted in for, because sometimes they might not go to their email inbox right away, especially if they're new, they don't understand it, or if they know the process, they'll come back to it later, and they'll see that, and you want to make sure that you remind them what what they just got. So if it's a newsletter, give them the name, your company name, whatever. Include any product download pages in case they did not receive it yet. Your main goal is to in an introduction to you and to make sure the customer subscriber gets what they opted in for. And then give them a PS letting them know what is coming tomorrow, that there's more coming. All right, here's kind of an example of a follow-up email, and that's number one. Basically, you got your subject line. Basically, it's just welcome, congratulations, download information. They're going to be looking for these kind after they just opted in, looking for their download pages in the welcome emails. Basically, you're welcoming them who you are. Next in line, we're showing reassuring that the right decision. Basically, I also want to thank you for confirming your request for information. This will allow you to receive the upgrades I'll be sharing with you concerning your new video series. I know you're going to enjoy it and profit greatly from what I have to share and teach you. You're just kind of giving them some reassurance. Provide product download links, and you notice that, just in case you not receive it, here's your download link. You'd have a download link to the download page right there. Remind them of the benefits. These videos are jam-packed with solid training to get your list building efforts off the ground and pumping rapid cashola into your business right away. And then solicit feedback. Ask them, I'm interested in what you have to say. Show some interest in your customers and your leads. Solicit feedback. Provide support information. Let them know how they can contact you. And how to go about that. If you get a support desk and you're going to offer support within 24 hours, let them know. If you're going to be not answering support on the weekends, let them know right up front. That's my family time. They'll learn to appreciate things like that you do take time with your family and that you're somebody real. They like to notice these kind of things. So if that's what you do, let them know. There's nothing saying you can't go and answer it on the weekend. Just let them know that if you don't get an answer on the weekend, that's why. And then your sign off, and then basically give them a PS. Let them know what is to come and give a good reason why they should be staying with you and why should they be looking for your next email message. Number two, follow up. And understand that as we go through this is not exactly what might work for you. It might work for one person and not next. This is just an example of what you can do, if you're unsure of what you really should be setting up in your follow-up. Follow-up message 2, start out with mentioning who you are in the product or newsletter name again. You want to get them familiar with you and your branding. Remind them to download the package and let them know what they can do with the download files. So maybe it was a PLR package that they just bought from you or opted in for. You let them know, remind them, hey, if you haven't done so, go download it. And this is what you can do with them. Assure them that you're there for them. Ask how they are doing with the product. Mention the support URL again. Try to get them to interact. Give any additional resources you may have to offer and fulfill promises from the first email. So if you made any promises, make sure that you follow through on that. Give some incentive to get things going. You may want to mention your affiliate program at this time if you haven't yet. So if you have an affiliate program, you can say, hey, you can make some money and make your money back by just selling one copy of this. So you should go sign up for my affiliate program. I help you learn how to be an affiliate and make money with this product. And then give them a PS. Let them know what's coming tomorrow. Always let them know, hey, there's more coming, to get them trained to expect you. Follow-up email 3, start with mentioning who you are, the product or newsletter name again. Send them a video, a pure content teaching a method related to your next product offer or affiliate offer. So basically in your email, you're going to be talking about something, maybe some training that you're going to give them, and then you're going to give them a link to go to a page that has a video on, and on that, right below that video, you're going to add a link which is going to lead them to a product or affiliate product recommendation. So basically, you're going to go to this video. It's going to be pure content teaching a method related to your next product offer. And then you're going to have a link to say, hey, if you want to learn more about this method or whatever, go here, in which leads to a product. Number 4 is a straight up promotion to the product. If for those that bought, they're going to be moved to a different list that they bought already, but if not, it's a straight up promotion to the product or another similar product. Pre-sell the product in the email before you add in the link to buy. You don't want to just add in a link, say buy now. You want to pre-sell on them, let them know the benefits and how it can help them. What kind of solutions it is to their problem. Talk about the main benefit and how it's going to help them. Add testimonials if you have them of other people, using your product and getting results with it. Add a link to the product or affiliate product you are selling. Again, add a PS, letting them know you're going to be sending them another invaluable free gift tomorrow. So now you're saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be sending you another gift, to be on the lookout for it. Number 5, give free content email as you promised yesterday. So basically, whatever you promised them, deliver. My suggestion is to send them to a PDF, a report, or an ebook or something at this point. And inside this PDF, you add awesome content that helps them lead farther along in reaching their goals or solving the problem. And then pre-sell a product or an affiliate offer in this thing. So the whole time you're working toward educating them, but you also want to sell them, on the things that are going to help them. So you're pre-selling them through the content. Add an affiliate link wherever it makes sense throughout that PDF, that ebook, or that report, wherever it makes sense. So if you're talking about Aweber, stick to that example, whatever. Here it is. If maybe you're recommending Camtasia, so you have a link to that. Wherever it makes sense, put an affiliate link in there. They're looking at this as good free content. You're not hard selling them. This is just, hey, this is some things that you're going to need that are going to help you as you're learning this. Information that I'm teaching you right here. These are some of the tools that you're going to need, the resources, and you go through my link to get them. Number 6, another straight up promotion. It's going to be very similar to the last one, to email number 4. Pre-sell the product in the email before you add in the link to buy. Talk about the main benefit, how it will help them. Add another testimonial, anybody else getting a result. Add a link to a product or affiliate product that you are selling. Straight up promotion. Number 7, free content email. So again, in 6, say, hey, I got more free content coming, another free offer. You could send them to a recorded webinar at this point, maybe a free webinar recording, or you're doing a live webinar with somebody at this time. It's a little bit harder in follow-up to actually do the live webinar. But if you had a recorded webinar, in the webinar you teach awesome content, just like you would be doing in your PDFs and certain things like that. But you're teaching awesome content that helps them lead farther along in reaching their goals and solving the problem. And then you pre-sell a product or an affiliate offer at the end. You've taught them, all about this, and now you're going to help them, by, further education. Click on this link. Send the link to buy your product or an affiliate product that you position in there. So that's basically an example of a 7-day follow-up. You could space them out, so that they went out within over 2 weeks, depending on your market. But basically, that's kind of what you can do to really monetize it. That's just one example. Just work with it, see what works with your list, follow it, keep track of what's going. If they're opting out, big unsubscribe rate at email number 3, you might want to change things. If they're not making it to number 7, change things until you get them to start getting to number 7. Free tips follow-up series. This is one of my favorite methods. There's a guy that I know that really does this well. If you want to go check out and find out, go to ericsfreetips.com, I think it is, and this guy really does some amazing things. I'm not promoting him in any way except for you to go and really see this in action. But Eric, basically, this free tips follow-up series. Basically, the visitor signs up to your squeeze page to receive your free tips. Now, I'm going to recommend something a little bit different here, because what you want to do is maybe get them to opt in for a report or an ebook series or a training course, and then also as another incentive, say, I'm also going to be sending you my free tips that I've got that are going to help further educate you. You must provide high value content in these tips, though. They're not just a couple of line tips or whatever. Really provide some good content. Provide daily or weekly. Stick to a consistent pattern. If you're going to provide daily, great. If it's going to be weekly, once a week, that might be all you can get done right now. But stick to a consistent pattern so they get to know when to expect it. Provide tips in 3 different ways. Tips that educate, and you notice these are just like our emails. Tips that educate, tips that sell, and tips that educate and sell. So basically, we're going to be adding in the monetization to this and educating at the same time. Here's the secret to this. We want to lead your customers away from your inbox. So basically you're sending them an email saying, here's the new tip for the day. Kind of talk about the tip a little bit, get them interested and excited about it, and say, now to go watch the video or whatever, you're going to send them to your website. And this would be a good website would be a WordPress blog. What you're doing here is you're basically enabling to open up two-way communication by enabling your subscribers to leave comments and interact with you at this point. So you're sending them to your site, and after the end you're asking them to leave you comments and to start interacting so you can find out what kind of the problems are, how they're liking the training, and and starting some relationship building up with them. And so it's really important. And it gets your subscribers accustomed to visiting your website as their source of information and answers instead of the competition. You want to keep your customers on your websites and get them used to going to your websites for the content and looking for that. And it's a good way to repurpose your content. You're basically building, let's say you were taking them to their WordPress blog to watch a video, which is a great method. I'll show you this in a little bit. But basically you're taking there, you could use this video, to submit to YouTube to drive traffic back here, to get people to subscribe to your list again. Basically say, hey, for more tips like this, head here, and they subscribe up for your tips again. And so not only is your content providing value as far as training, it's also being used for traffic to further build your list. You can use it on your blogs. You can use it in so many different ways of repurposing this content. So not only did it help educate them, but it's also SEO in your blog by putting more content, which is going to drive traffic to your blog, which you should have an opt-in form with to have people sign up for your tips. You can, basically you could use PowerPoint video trainings or talking head videos on these, when they go to your blog. This would be a great thing. It's just something like we're doing here today, a PowerPoint video training, which you create and you send them to it. If you don't want them to see your face, you can just use these, do a training video every day for, or every week, whatever it is, for the next tip. Ready to ramp up the trust level fast. Let them really see who you are and what you look like. You must come across as being sincere, and when people can see you, they can see your sincerity. You must come across as being knowledgeable, and that's one of the great things about doing these kind of videos and trainings and stuff, is that people can start to get an insight as to who you are and the knowledge that you really do have. All right, so here's how this is going to look. Basically, they got an email in their inbox that basically told them what the tip was about, and it directed them to your WordPress blog. They clicked on the link and they ended up on your blog, and here's what they found. Basically, they had an introduction, what they're going to find out and learn in the video, and then there's going to be a training video for them to watch. Now, just in case they decide they don't want to watch the training video, you're going to educate them through the written post. So basically you're going to make bullet points of what they're learning, the key points of what they're learning in that video all the way through that. And then you're going to, at some of these, you're going to actually have well-positioned products to sell. And how are they well-positioned? Well, one of the things that you're teaching in your videos is you're going to be teaching, different things. Let's say we're talking about emails here. We're talking about maybe follow-up messages and stuff like that. So you're offering down below, a push button marketer. Well, what in the world is that? I don't go see the video for it. Then you got the list building pack, contains 150 pre-written follow-up emails. So that gives somebody something to buy. It's something that goes along with the education that you're giving them at that point. It makes sense for them to get. And the key to this is these are not going to be, big high ticket items and stuff. They're just going to be 17, 27, whatever, that really, it's not going to be that hard to pull out their credit card, but it also makes sense for them to get. But they go through this training, you're teaching them, you mention the push button marketer, you mention the list building pack and stuff, and then you're mentioning it again below down here, so that, you're talking about, ways to basically get their follow-up. They can write it themselves. They can have the shortcuts. You're showing them shortcuts, or they can outsource them. So you're basically educating them and pre-selling them and selling them all at the same time through this method. And some days you're going to offer just plain content. You're not going to do any kind of selling whatsoever. Some days you might offer a video that's just going to be strictly selling them on a product or service. Throughout that training, you're educating them and selling. So you're going to put all three methods, but this works great getting them to your sites so that they know that you're providing the value. This is just a great free offer to give away. And this is a great free follow-up series that you can implement, because you just keep putting it, you put it in here, they learn to really respect you and understand that you can deliver value. And then when you go to sell something, they're ready for it. They want it because they know it's going to be of high value. The adding free tips like this is an amazing way to set up a follow-up. It's kind of like the, when we're talking about the e-course or whatever, setting them up there. This is what this kind of is. You're taking them through a step-by-step process of setting it up, giving them free information, and then you're also monetizing it. You can stand out from the majority of email marketers in your industry by over-delivering on fresh, quality content. Remember people sign up to receive your emails believing that they will benefit in some way. If you deliver quality, relevant, and useful information that truly helps them, you will be rewarded with an active and responsive subscriber base, and you will start building that list of hot qualified buyers. Focus on building a relationship with your subscribers through constant contact and updates. And don't let your list run cold by failing to communicate with your subscribers. It's relatively easy to design an email marketing campaign by using high quality private label rights material, by hiring content writers to create articles that can be used within your broadcast. It's really easy to get materials for your list. Remember, you got the swipe files that you can start creating for different ideas and stuff. It's really not that hard. Just remember, you need to communicate with your subscribers, and letting that go by your follow-up go cold is going to lose subscribers more than it is by sending out too many emails to them, because you don't want them to forget who you are. I want to thank you for joining me. I guess it is time to take action on your part and get that email follow-up series created and get building relationships. Remember, just getting started with 2 or 3 is better than none at all, and don't complicate the process. I want to thank you for joining me in this training, and I wish you much success on setting up your follow-up email series.